Hi, welcome back to Saturday Craft. We are going to work on the panda in a minute. I just wanted to show you a couple of things first. First of all, as you probably saw on the title card, I got this vintage crochet book. This has been put together by the National Library of Australia. They did one for knitting not long ago. And what it is a collection of patterns that have been published in magazines and newsletters from years and years ago. I'll show you a few of the pictures. There's some of the things here. The patterns are in here, but there's also the original publication, how they looked. And it tells you how to read them. It's a nice hardcover book. Now, I did mark one here. This one here is the oldest one in the book. There's the picture. Nice little sleeveless girl's dress. This one was published in 1888 in a magazine or leaflet called The Colonist. So that shows you how old some of them are. And it's really interesting to look at the way they were published and how the language was used. They also give you conversions because the yarn is different, what used to be available to what there is now. So that's quite good. So I'll show you like on this one. This is just like little cuff things. It says 3-ply mercerized cotton. We don't use that terminology anymore, so they use DMC Petra size 5, which gives you, it's really good so that you can make it these days. There's a whole heap of stuff, and there you go. Doesn't give me a number for all the what's in it, but you have quite a lot of projects in here. 176 pages. And yeah, it's done by National Library of Australia. So these are like archive patterns from the old magazines that we used to get. I thought that was really interesting. I got this one from Big W. I know it's available on other online bookstores. Yeah, I think it's a really good resource to have. Very cool. And the other thing I was going to show you, I literally only tied this off about an hour ago, is my stash flower. And you're going to say, what the hell is a stash flower? What it is you collect up all those little balls of yarn that you have in your stash that are not big enough for anything. You know, the ones that are about this big or a little bit bigger, not a full ball. Mostly 8-ply. A couple of these were a little bit thicker 8-plies. And you use the Never Ending Wildflower pattern. I will put a link to it in the description down below. 2 threads held at the same time. I'll turn it over so you can see better. And you get 2 rows for each section. So you've got the behind row, gives you a nice flat back, and then you've got the front row. And what it is, the petals are worked on the front loops, and then the backing is worked on the back loops. I'm going too high, try down here. So the petals are free of the backing. And yeah, this is quite thick. I reckon if you made this out of cotton, it'll be a great heat pad for like on a table. But yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. I got up to 7 pairs of trebles on the outside petals, so that shows you how big it is. And of course, there's my hands on it, and one hand does not cover it. I'm quite happy with how this turned out. What I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably put it in a cushion cover maybe, because if you pull it back slightly like a cushion would, the petals show up better. So I thought that was rather cool. And it uses up all your little balls of stash yarn, so you make a stash flower. I just got all my purple ones out because I thought I might try and ombre it out, which seems to have done it. Quite happy with that. As I said, there'll be a link in the description for this actual pattern. And she also tells you how to expand it out. You can actually work it out with the maths, so that's pretty cool. So we will get back to our panda. So after the short one last week, I finished sewing on his arms. Bring it up so you see. So the arms are sewn on. They're at the back, and then I put my finger there. I don't know if you remember. Put my finger there and then sewed the front so the arms would fall forward. I haven't sewn the feet on, but I have done him. You can't really see it on there, but I've done him so that he sits on his feet. I'll hold him so he does sit, but I have to tilt him up so you can see. So he's going to sit like that, and he won't fall over. But we are going to give him a tail, which will help with his stability. And pandas have tails. I looked it up. I also made his ears, so they need to be put on. We are nearly finished him. There's not much more to do. I need to decide what I'm going to make next week. So these little ears will have to go on like that and finish the mouth off. So what I might do is I might get out a wool needle, because that's how we sew the legs on, and just sew them on so I can take the pins out. And with the sewing, if you remember when you made each of the pieces, we left quite a long tail so that we knew where we're going. Now just need to see. All right, that is that one. So I might just put that aside. I'm going to put, hopefully it's blowing it out, hasn't it? I'm going to put this into there, but I need to sew this one first, if that makes sense. I hope it makes sense. All right, so thread it up. This yarn is actually quite a bit better than other chenille yarns that I've had. You can put a bit of force onto it. In case you don't remember which yarn we're using, it's this one. It's about an 8 ply, and I've used a 3.25 crochet hook all the way through. I got it in the white and this colour, which I don't think they call it pink. Do they call it pink? They call it pink rose because it's like a soft pink. Anyway, so I will sew this in, and the cat started yelling. She has been fed, so she won't yell at us today. Well, she won't yell for food anyway. She might yell. Alright, so I put this down here, and we're just doing an overcast stitch to begin with. Hopefully you can see this. It's very white on there. If I put my needle there, that's where the top of the leg is. So I'm just picking up a little bit from here and then picking up a bit from the leg. I'm sorry that it's blowing out, but... And the cat's back. Meow. And to there, so that's just overcast stitch, just over and over and over. Take the pin out. Now, just check your little dude out. We want his feet to come forward. So what we do is you put your thumb over it, because I only stuffed to about there. I didn't stuff all the way down. So I'm putting my thumb where the stuffing stops. And then I'm just going to, a little bit from the body, a little bit from the leg, work my way down. It's not really fancy stitching with soft toys. It's whatever works, because you try and make a yarn match the work. That way, if you make hoops, it's not so noticeable. Alright, so that's that bit. Now, we want his belly to be bulging over it. So we'll just go like that. And now we want to do along this edge. I'm just weaving it in and out because it's a little bit hard to do when there's a big belly in the way. Luckily the needle's long. So that's gone along there, and then we just go down the inside of the leg. If you have any suggestions of what we could make next, let me know. Otherwise we'll probably end up with a dragon or something. I feel like making a dragon. I haven't made a dragon for ages. Alright. Now I am going to go in and then out over here, but not cut it off. Ugh, if I can get this needle. See, this is what happens with chenille. Where the needle is, it starts pulling the thread off. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut that because the needle won't come off because the fluff's too big. Alright, take that out of the way. So that's the first leg on. Now if you remember we moved this, so we got to move it back. And what? Just check again that will help. He will sit with those. Yes, he will. To bring those legs in a little bit more, I think. Okay, so we need to thread up the other one. That's the one we just did. All right. That's the problem with chenille. You pull the fluff through and the thread won't come. There we go. So I usually try, see, as soon as you go back, it starts shedding the fluff. So we won't pull it back. I always like to do this part first because it's a straight edge. Gives you a firmness, and then you can also get rid of the pins quicker. We don't want it's deciding not to play nice today. Alright, it's stuffed itself up. We'll have to fix that. This is also why you don't want to put your needle at the ends, because that fluffing, it's actually shedded enough that I couldn't pull it through. So we're going to have to start again. There you go. Now don't pull it back. So when you're threading up for chenille, only have a little bit, but don't pull it back because it'll start shredding it. So yeah, don't do what I did, do what I said. All right. So we just overcast stitching again. Once you do the first stitch, you can take the pin out. And this is just the tail from making the leg. So we haven't had to add on, which means we have less ends to weave in. All right. Yeah, we are at the middle. I'm just going to turn him around. What I might do is I might swap that pin for a yellow one so you can see a little bit better. So we're there. We also want to, this time, I'll get one more, gets us right to the corner. And I do apologise that the white is blowing out. Next time we sew up something, we might have it as a darker colour so you can see better. But we started making this so long ago, I had to finish it. All right. So pick up a little bit from the other leg, pick up a bit from the belly, and pick up a little bit from the inside of the leg. That way it connects them all. We could actually do a surface knot here. Anyone who doesn't know what a surface knot is, we make a stitch and then we come back through the thread. Pull it down smoothly and then lay it for where you want it to sit. Right. Now from memory, that leg has to come across a little bit. So we'll just put the thumb there to hold it where we want it. And we are over sewing up to the same place on the other side. So just flip that one back so it's about in line with that row of stitching. As I say, I do apologise, the white is blowing up on the camera. Hopefully it's better where you're looking. Now put your thumb and fold it over so that you're not sewing too far up. The other tail keeps coming in. Just make sure when you fold it over you don't sew the leg going the wrong way. Now this one we're just weaving and trying not to catch the back of the leg. We only want to catch the top of the leg. A little bit from inside. Alright, that's not going to work. The needle's just a little bit short. And then right at the end. Okay, so that's that bit on. So now we just have to sew this little bit here and we are done. And that's just overcast stitch. So a bit from each side and over the top. Like so. Like so. And right at the end. Alright, so that is his leg on. I'm going to go in and then I'm going to go out, not in the same hole as the other thread, but next to it. And then I'm going to tie them together with a surgeon's knot, which is 1 and 2, pull tight, and then the other way, oh well, not the other way, with the other string, 1, this is the one with the needle on it, and 2, and pull it tight. Now what you can do now, because this is a toy and this is also chenille, is you can just pull the ends in. So you just go in with your hook, come out near it, wrap it around. I try and wrap them both around because otherwise you're going to pull one out when you do the other one. And just pull the ends inside and then cut these strings here because we don't want to be pulling inside for the rest of the night. Wiggle it a bit more so the ends are gone and then pull your hook out. And that's his legs attached. And he falls on his face. There you go. You do have to, with toys sometimes, mould the stuffing on the inside. So he does sit. He's not falling on his face. His little legs are all there. He's all happy. Well, I don't know if he's happy. He hasn't got a face yet. So, you usually do the ears last. You've got to make sure you do everything else first because once the ears are on, everything catches. So next bit I'm going to do his face. Now, actually what I might do before I do his face, I might pull those eyes in more because I did want them done more. So get our needle. I want his face to be more down, so he's a chubby little dude. If I hold it to the side, you might be able to see. I want him a bit more chubbier. At the moment, they're too far up. So we'll thread our needle. This is what you call soft sculpting. Because he's soft and we're sculpting him. That makes sense. So this time I'm having my yarn doubled because I'm going to have to pull against it. So double strength might help. So there we go. I'm going to put a knot at the end just for safety. I don't think I'm going to be pulling that much through, but we just be careful. Now, because we want it to go down, we want these eyes to go down. So we need to get our stitches right in there, but we want them down. So we first of all, I might actually come up here because we want to go straight down. We come up under the eye. Can you see that? Can you see the needle coming through right here, right in the sty? Now I don't want the bridge of his nose getting any narrower, so this is going to be a straight stitch. Now, do I want it to go down or do I want it to go across? We could go across. Okay, so we pull a fair bit through. There's our knot. Get them out the way before I throw them across the room. Then we go inside here and out there. So that's level, or levelish, level, that's better. Don't scratch your eyes while you're doing it. And then back in the sty on the other side. Now this one, I'm going to come out close to where I went in. Yep. Pull that over the top. Pull that over the top. Right, so we've got that as tight as we can. Now, we want them to go in and down. So let's pull these quite a bit. Squish him to where you want him. Now, I'm going to cut off this needle, just so I'm not stabbing myself. And I am going to tie the first part of a surgeon's knot, which is 1 and 2, and then pull that down close under his chin. Alright, so that's now going to stay as we pull these down. Now, because this is chenille, you want to squish it so we're going to have to pull them back too. Alright, that's got it down. See, if I look on the side, it's pulled it down into there. And then we'll tie the other half of the knot. Got to be so careful because chenille snaps. I don't want to snap it. Alright, let's pull that down there. That's right. Okay, so that's now, see how much more chubbier his head's got because we've pulled that down. We also need to pull it back a bit, so we still have the needle threaded up with yarn. Put a knot in the end so we don't lose it. All these strings are going to hide inside the body, so don't worry about all that. So now we want to go from the middle. So that's the back of the head. We want to go to the middle, at the bottom of the head, into the sty again. He's really going to have good sties, isn't he? Actually, what I might do with this one is I might do that as a pair. So I'll do this one. That way I can pull them together. So that's that one. Let's just cut that off and get another one. Normally I do it with one, but because it's chenille, I can't pull it very much. If I pull it too much, it's just going to snap and I would have wasted my time. Normally on actual full-on teddy bears, I do this with upholstery thread and I can pull as much as I want because nothing breaks upholstery thread. Not unless it's rotten. If it's rotten, anything can break it, but you know. Alright, so those two are to do with, these two strings are to do with that eye. So now we need, let's put them over there so they're not going to get tangled up. Now we need to do the other eye. That's the problem with safety eyes, is they don't have like a loop at the back. If that, they used to, you used to have a loop at the back and it would allow you to pull them in, but they don't do that anymore. Used to be a lot easier. Alright, so now we want them down. So that's that one. That's that one. Cut the needle off before we fling it in her eye. And then you want to push them and pull so that the eyes seat themselves. So I'm pushing with my thumb and then taking the slack at the back. Now tie this off. The good thing about chenille is it holds itself because of the fluff. Right. That's better. I'm liking his face more now. And then we tie that off. If you actually look at a panda, they have quite flat heads. They have big heads, but they're quite flat. That's better. See, we've got a little bit of a doop, doop, no, more of an angle. And then the eyelids are going better now too. All right, so that's all done. Now we have to hide all these threads. And because they're white, we will pull them into the head. If they were pink, we would pull them into the body. So do that and then cut it off. And then this one, come from further away, hop out near it, Wrap it around and then pull it inside that body and then cut off the excess without cutting your crochet. And then wiggle the hook out. So that's the front of the face. Yes, I like him much better now. Looks way cuter. Alright, so good thing about pulling ends in is that you can pull them towards where you might have holes from decreases, not increases. Increases don't make holes, decreases do. This one doesn't want it. Might have to thread that one up. I think there might be too many strings here for them to pull through. Of course, there's a needle at the end. Not a needle, a knot. Alright, we're getting there, we're getting there. It's all these little parts of finishing a toy off. We'll do one at a time. Doesn't want to thread up more than one. So yeah, as I was saying, see here, you might be able to see. No, you can't. It's all blowed out. Where your decreases are, sometimes the yarn makes a hole. So if you thread your yarn up that you're trying to hide and run it underneath, you will be filling that hole. That makes sense? I think it does. Just go backwards and forwards and forwards and backwards. Like so. And one more, and then we'll cut it off. Because it doesn't matter if it's seen, because it looks the same, and nobody knows. Alright, it's that one. I was thinking I might make him a spiky collar with some fairy bells on it. I got them out. I was going to have a look. Not making you one. You're just sitting there, are you? The cat is by the table, but she's had her dinner, so she's not crying for that. You're crying because the chair's too far away. Hang on a minute. There you go. All right. Now madam should be all right. Oh, that's her hitting the head on the table. Cats are agile and delicate creatures. Yes, they are. Very delicate. Hello. They can't see you. You're under the table. We would need to have the other camera on to see you. Uh-huh. Alright, so pull that through there. Doesn't want to pull through. All I'm getting is the fluff. I need the string in the middle. There we go. Weaving through. And back again. And through. That'll do. That'll do. Hey, put. Pull that one through. Alright. It's pretty boring watching me weave these in, but if I don't do it now, I can't do the next bit. Let's see if we can do these ones, because I've already done a lot of weaving. That one's going to work. Cut that one off. Wiggle it out. And the last one. When we do the ears, we can't do this because the ears are the pink colour. So we'll have to hide them properly. Right. Wiggle that off. Okay, so that's all done. that up there so I can find it later. I think what I'll do now, I might do the face. Now, we've got to decide what kind of a mouth we want. Actually, I'll use the back of that. That'll do. So, we definitely want the split under the nose. So that's our safety nose. So we want a split, and then we want a curve, and then a curve like that. We want something very simple. So that will be a stitch, and that will be a stitch. So let's mark on here with them. I don't think we want the mouth further than directly under the middle of the eyes. Any more than that, I think it'll be too big. Right there. So that's just a guide. Now, I don't think we want, I think we want that maybe to there. So this one here is for the bit from below the nose. And these ones here is the width. So we're going to have to get a curve. So these nearly need to go a little bit higher, otherwise we won't get the curve. Yeah, that's it. So there are our markers for doing the face, the mouth, not the face, the mouth, please. I'm going to try and do it with the chenille. Hopefully it plays nice and lets me do it, otherwise we'll have to find something else. I don't want to add another colour in. I think we got enough colours already. You do it slow, you should be able to do it. We'll get another long piece and we'll do it in half. Alright, so this time I'm going to pop the knot. I'll show you how to do that. So making a donkey knot. If you want a donkey knot is like this, and then you roll it off your finger. You want it to roll a few times, so and then pull it back with your thumbnail. It makes a knot right at the end. So over and then roll it off your finger. That's called a donkey knot. Well, that's what I was taught anyway. So we need to come in under there, and we need to come out at the base of the nose. But what we want to do is we want to look for a gap. So like there's a gap there. I can see through the stitching to the stuffing underneath. So we do that, and then we want to pop the knot. So we slowly go. Here's our knot coming up. Pull it, pull it, pull it, pop. See the knot's gone? You can see just a little bit of the tail there. Wiggle that, you won't see it at all. But that's secured in there because I went through the stuffing. Alright, so because this is a safety nose, there's a washer behind it, so I'm not going to be able to get right up to under the nose. We'll just say he's got long hair. So this is not very long. And then we go to this side. We can take that out because we've done that bit. Now we want to come out. This has gone silly. That's what's happened. It's made a knot. And make sure you pull knots out before they go too bad, or it will snap. There you go. So you want your two strings to be even, because then they'll lay flat on the face. Pull that a bit more. That's better. Alright, so now that should pull straight. And then when you get close to the end, lay it how you want it. Let it rest on the top of the fabric. That's the word I'm trying to think of. let it rest on top of the fabric so you don't lose it. And then you're going to come down here. Now we want this pair of strings to be flat, so use your needle to lie them flat, put your thumb on it and pull them through, and that way the twist will go on the other side. This doesn't look like what I drew yet, but I will show you what you do. And then we're going to go in where that pin is, and then we're going to cross behind, and we are going to go under, come out under in the middle of that other side. Now pull this through carefully. You still want it to be straight. Use the needle to lay it how you want it. Pull all of your excess through. I'll move my finger in a minute so you can see. So now he's got a dead straight mouth. We don't want him to have a dead straight mouth. We want him to have a cute little bowed mouth. So then we come up behind that stitch and then pull it down. And go back through the hole and go to the other side. Now try and dig under some stuffing before your needle comes out so that it's secured. Once again, every stitch in doing this needs to be laid flat. Alright, so that's that one. Now we'll go under. See, we're not going through the white here, we're just going under the pink. Like so, and then pull it down. And that has given him two little fangs as well. That looks so cute. Make sure that this bottom lip is not too tight. And then we're going to push through back at the base of that little stitch and come out in the pink down on the back. So that's gone in there and out here. Make sure you lay your yarn, because if it doesn't lay flat it'll actually pull and then the mouth will be tight and it will sink in and look weird. Alright, so make sure you pull that back up so it's not too tight. And there's his little mouth. I wish there was a way that I could get up to there, but I can't because of the washer behind. I can't. There's a metal washer behind because it's a safety nose. I suppose you could do it first, but then you'd have to know exactly where you want the mouth to be before you stuff it, which is kind of hard to do. Right, so I just did a surface knot there, and then I'm going to try and pop it through. There we go, pop through. And I might do a second one because this is in the pink. Oop. And then down here. Oop. Got it wrapped around his leg. Alright, that's that done. So there's his little mouse. I think he needs some chalk on him. So all we got to do now is to put his ears on. Now, pandas have quite curled around ears. They're not like teddy bears out like that. They're quite tufty hairs. So I'm going to put them on where I think and we'll have a look at them. I don't think pandas come in pink, so you could really put the ears wherever you like. But I'm trying to make this distinctly a panda rather than a teddy bear. That's one, and this is the other one. Take your time doing ears because they are quite hard to get good, if you know what I mean. You could put them on, but you want them good. So I'm just putting pins at the top and the bottom to begin with. Alright, so that's got them sitting on there. Look at it from the top. If you look at it from the top, go that way, this one here looks bigger than this one here. So what it means is this one is too far over. He needs to come back a bit, and it needs to pull. That's a bit better. So looking from the top, they're a bit better. Now we look from the side. Look from the side to see whether they're in the same place on the head. Look from the back, then you're not distracted by the nose and the eyes. I also like to put a pin in the back to make sure we don't lose the curve of the ear. Alright, I'm pretty happy with those. Do they look a bit teddy bearish? We need them to squinch in a bit, don't we? About the same this way as well. What we're looking for this way is that they're the same distance from the side of the eyes. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with those. We'll go with those. Let's move these out of the way and find our needle again. Most of the time when you're sewing up with chenille, the yarn is a one shot because it shreds itself. Alright, so let's sew the ears on. Welcome to the live. I can see somebody's there watching. Hi. Alright. So the way you sew ears is similar to the rest of the body. You just got to take it slow. Everything you got to take slow. Because we've got our pins there, I don't want to move them just yet. And we're taking a little bit from the ear and then a little bit from the head, but we're taking from the head directly under the ear. So you shouldn't see any of the pink stitches because they should be under the edge of the ear, if that makes sense. So I'm taking, let's see if I can bring it up so you can see. I'm taking a little bit from here, pulling it all the way through, and then for the white I'm taking it under the edge of the ear. Moved up, sorry. Under the edge of the ear so you don't see the stitches. And then another bit from the back of the ear. So you can't see hardly any of those. I mean, if you look really close, you can probably see a little bit of a zigzag, but you can't see much. And that's the plan. That's the word. We keep going here. Oh, she's back. A little bit off there. And under there. And up there. So you're just alternating one side to the other. You generally want more than one strand of the crochet in a stitch, just so there's a bit of meat there for it to grab onto. So that's the whole back of the ear being sewn on. So now we can take out those two. This one here, I'm just going to go through the front, and then I'm actually going to do a surface knot. So that's, you see where the string is underneath? And that just sort of like ratchets it down so it sticks to the side of the head. Now we can pull that out. Now one thing I do, you do not have to do this, is I also do the inside of the ear because this is probably going to go to a child, and I like to make any toys I make quite strong. So I'm just doing the same thing. This one I might seesaw along because I've already done the really good stitches on the back. This is just like a little bit of a backstop. And it won't matter if you can see the stitches in here because the ear will curve. Stop it! You hear that? It's popping on me. And up again. Alright, so now we're back to where we started. And then flop the ear forward and curl it around. There we go, we have a panda ear. So we've done all the way down there, surface not there, all the way in there. That was the easy part. This is the right side ear with my right hand. The hard ear is the left ear because it's done with my left, not done with my left hand, but it's not done on my easy way. So I'll just pull that down there and we can cut that off. Alright, so that's the first ear on. Done. So now we've got to make this one match that one, but we're starting at the bottom, which is not too bad. So double check all your pins are in the right places. That one's fine. I might move that one down a little bit. We've got to try and make it match as best we can. That's better. That's all right at the back. Okay, thread it up. Thread it up, thread it up. That's right, this was the bit that had the knot in it. It's got a knot in it already. I haven't even used it yet. After this, the teddy bear is finished. The panda bear is finished, sorry. But I was going to have a look at making him a collar. Him, her. Do you reckon it's a him or a her? Okay. Look. Alright, so the same deal again, but instead of starting at the top, we're starting at the bottom. Now we got to try and get it under the ear. Don't take out your pins until you get to the other side. I would play the radio, but YouTube won't like that. Have the occasional cat singing to you. That's our background music. Just sewing the last ear on. Just like before, little stitches, and then making the white ones under the ear. Little tiny stitches. It would be tempting to do big honking stitches, but little ones are better because more points of contact, the stronger it'll be. There we go. Now, because this is the hard ear to do, we have a look when we're done. Take these two out now. Right, so that's all right still. That's all right still. The front. Yep, the front looks all right. You can adjust with your stitches on this one to match that one, but they're pretty close. So I think we'll be right. Don't need to do any more surgery. So we just do a little surface knot. What is my words tonight? like that. Pull it down and then ratchet it onto the head. There we go. So that's the same thing we did on the other side, but we've done it at the top rather than the bottom. That's just the way it is. And you flip the ear out and then go down the inside. To stitch. This one you can wiggle, pick up. Just don't pick any of the back of the ear up. Because if you remember, the ear is one piece folded over. So you've got a back and a front. So it was a circle that we folded in half like a taco. And you don't want to take stitches off the back because it will make the ear sit funny. Okay. And the last one. Ah, no, don't do this to me, not now. You see what's happened? It has started threading it. Damn. See if I can go back. Yes, I can. All right. So this end of the yarn has started shredding, which means I can't pull it through. So we need to cut it off and rethread it up again just to do the last stitch. Highly annoying, but not unexpected. All right, keep going through. All right, let's finish this. And then make sure we don't do our last one too big. And pull through. Right. And then we'll wiggle this. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yep. And cut it off. Okay, so that is our little panda all done. The only other thing, like I said, I was going to do, let's take this off, I don't want to lose my wool needle, is that I was going to give him a collar. And I was going to put fairy bells on the end. I'll draw a little picture of what I'd like to do. You can sit there and watch. So I want to have, this is his neck, like so, and then this is his arms coming out. I want to have a bow, and I want to have little spikes coming down, and they all have bells on them. Can you see that? Not the best picture, but you get what I mean. So it will tie on the front, that way it can be taken off if it's given to a very young child. I had this green cotton. The table is a mess, but anyway. Green cotton. I've got my fairy bells. I've got my tiny, tiny crochet hook to pull the bells through. So, first thing to do is to find the end of the thread. There it is. God, this is a mess. I will have to untangle this sometime. It was a nice ball of yarn not long ago. Oh, man, what a mess. I can see I'm going to be untangling this the whole time I use it. So, first thing I think I'll do is I will chain. Actually, I'll leave a decent amount at the end. I'll chain enough to go around his neck and tie a bow. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. That's 20. See, this yarn's going to drive me nuts. It's the only green I had. Only green in the right darkness. And that was 20. That's not going to be enough. Looking at it though, I reckon I'll need maybe 60. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. $28, $29, $30, $31, $32, $33. Nothing like a knotty ball of yarn. Ah. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Throw this yarn across the room, I think. 40. Not very exciting, I apologise. 40. There we go, that'll give us a bit. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Right, that should be enough. Yeah, the oodles. Right, let's cut this off here. Pull that through. All right, so that's our base to tie around his little neck. Yep, that looks like fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark where that is, because I don't want to try and make the points where I've got to tie it. So how many is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Right, so 16 in on the other side. That gives us where the how much room we have for the spikes. That's the word. 2, 4, 6, 8. Damn it, I lost it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. There we go, right there. Okay. So we have this amount in the middle to do little spikes. Let's see if I can pull enough of this out that I can do it. I didn't realise this was so bad. You sit there. Just a big mess. That's not even the end. Me and my big ideas. Move that over there. It's so naughty. Oh, this is terrible. You know what? I don't like this. Ow, 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 ow. Got my knee. What else have we got? I haven't really got anything else. Damn it. Alright, let's just pull a heap of it out. Okay, so this is annoying me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the collar off camera because I've got to untangle all this because it's the only one I've got of this colour. And I will see you next Saturday. I hope you enjoyed the live, and please like, share and subscribe. And if you've got a suggestion for the next thing we make, just put it in the comments, and I will see you next time.